can better manage the free and public education they're supposed to be getting, because these resources are supposed to follow the student. And I don't think this board or this organization has ever looked at it from that standpoint, because I see you're spending tons of money, energy, and effort, but it seems like you're on a treadmill doing the same things that's been doing. And I think without actually evaluating it first, solving and defining a mutual agreed problem that needs to be resolved, and then picking things that would resolve it, and then testing whether or not that actually accomplished the task, are you going to get ahead? Does everybody agree with that standard process of root cause?
I'll agree to this, Mr. Bradley. I mean, I don't want to belabor the point. I want to, move on to the next levels. But I think you hit the nail on the head a little bit earlier. You had given a couple of different factors, and that's the uniqueness of all the kids. They fall under those different umbrellas that you were talking about. So what I try and do, what we try and do, is we're constantly looking for what is it. What is that one piece? So, that's why we do try and implement different programs, that we do try and get some professional development. We're trying to figure out exactly what it is. What makes it so that, a student has an inordinate amount of tardiness or attendance? What is it that may have...
We accept every student, no matter what the situation is. We're a private sector, business.
I'm not talking about private sector. I'm talking about the private use of standard root cause analysis. No, the only part of the private sector that was brought up, you can shout it down, Mr. Cleaver, but the only part of private sector that was brought up was the concept of using root cause analysis.
We talk about 10% of a student population. Within that 10%, knowledge. We don't know that the student is having an auditory processing skill. We don't know that the student is having a visual issue, that they need to be in front of the classroom to see the board. But as we keep asking those questions, why is this having an issue? Eventually we get to that answer. So for you to sit here and say this one thing could, fix it because the 10% is not being successful, within that 10% could be a bunch of other specific factors. And that's where I'm saying you're missing the point. When you compare us to private sector and saying in the private sector, I'm not saying private school, I'm saying education. I don't care if it's private school or public school, I don't care what it is. In the industry world versus education, it's two totally different things.
But Mr. Cleaver, you're still having a problem where you're mischaracterizing.
Okay.
I was playing. Hold on. I will explain myself. Wait. I will explain. Wait. I'm going to retort. You can. So you can. So I'm going to retort. So the mischaracterization.
I can do a lot of things, but I don't have to. It's my turn to talk now. And what I'd like to say is this. You're all bringing up the things that make a child unsuccessful. But I'm going to tell you my personal story. I have two children, both with the same IQ. Both went through the same schools. Both went through the teachers. One was number 10 in her class. The other one couldn't get past the D. He used to come home and tell me, but Mom, it's a high D. Okay? Because he never, ever, we had all kinds of things done to him, and he always was the same. He always fell behind. So when he was in his 30s, I see him. He can read. He can do business. He can do everything they taught him in school. But yet he never assessed in any of that. So when I said to him in his 30s, why did you put us through that? You would do your homework and not turn it in. You knew this stuff and you wouldn't put it down on the test. And his answer to me was, I don't have to perform on demand, Mom. So you have personality. You're talking about all the other things. Personality is the one thing that you can't change. I tried, and you all know me. I tried hard, and it didn't work. And I was told I don't perform on demand. So you will have that, and that's all I wanted to say. You are making a big deal out of this 10%, Mr. Bradley, and those 10% of kids could be like my son and just simply don't want to do it.
Thank you. So now, back to reality. Oh, Mr. Stern, go ahead, your turn.
The manufacturing process where you have control over what your raw materials are. We don't have control over what our raw materials are that are coming into our building.
No.
Like Mr. Cleaver said, we get it from this side to the other side, and our job, the administration's job, the instructional staff's job is to try to do the best you can with each one of them. I mean, you can't not say, okay, I'm going to look at my raw materials, and so I don't have a failure, that goes off to the side.
I'm listening to you, so maybe
Wait a second,
next
so when
year after,
you're
whatever.
not listening.
In the
So when you're
meantime,
talking about raw materials, I'm trying to say
I'm
that when you
not
don't have a,
on the outside of the staff.
Correct, you don't have that. So
I'm
you-
talking raw materials that come into our building.
that doesn't excuse the problem, Mr. Stern.
I'm not saying it excuses.
You cannot throw away 10% of the students.
Did I say that? No, you'll cut it up and put it that way.
But that's what you're saying when you say you can't control it.
You're
And
completely out
so
of
let's go
line.
down. No, wait a second. I'm still finished. I have a right to speak. I have a right to speak. No, I have a right to speak. Hold on. So the mischaracterization that we're talking about, the mischaracter. Hold on. The mis. Hold on. Wait a second. I am. I understand. No, this meeting's not over, Mr. You cannot shut down a public meeting. I'm having a turn. My turn to speak. I'm aware of the directive. I am. I'm responding to
No, you yap all the time. Let him talk.
Stop.
Zip it.
I'm talking to Mr. Cleaver. I talk.
Sure that we're providing as much support on an individual basis by using SAS, by using those standard aligned systems, and make sure that we're providing as much support as possible.
So back to the question I have at hand. I'm not talking, Mr. Sevlin, I'll talk to you because you're the most sane and the responsible person here to talk about. So what I'm talking about, excuse me, I was talking. So I have the floor and I was talking. Mr. Tkachen, you just said I have the floor and I was talking. I was talking.
Why are you always so combative?
I'm not combative. I'm very
No,
serious.
excuse me. Why
Sit
are you
down.
always so combative and argumentative?
Did you stand up?
You're a
and come to me?
narcissist.
Did you come to me?
I did because
Sit down.
No, I'm not going to sit
So,
down.
Mr.
I am
Stephan.
not your subordinate.
Mr.
Brown, you
Mr.
go.
It is on you. So hold on.
Mr. Brown is beginning.
Mr. Sevlin.
Excuse me. Mr. Brown.
Behave. Sit down. Who are you? Mr. Sevlin.
Be
We'll talk to
respectful.
you.
respectful.
You be
In order
respectful.
for students to stay on track for graduation, we're looking at something we're looking at as well. So.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Sevlin. So the question I have
It's Mr. Brown. It's pledging of your people.
At that point, I think we need
So,
to meeting
thank you
today.
very much. Mr. Sevlin, what I was asking before is part of our board committee, which is what we are. We're here to hold the teachers and the staff and the administration accountable. to this government. So what we're looking for is a root cause analysis associated with each of these 10% of students that we're leaving behind. We don't have the right to say we don't know what it is. We can't just hide behind it's their personality. There's a whole DISC profile that can be used by students, and there's availability of these programs as well that we can educate our teachers so we can help them with DISC profiles. If it truly is what Rita says it is, which is personality. I think if we look at it from a large standpoint of we have a responsibility to these students, and we're professional teachers, like I used to be. The reality.
Of course, let's jump on that.
Yeah, good for you. So the idea is,
What
if you have,
district? What
if you
district,
have,
Mr. Bradley?
if you have the, excuse me,
Mr.
sir.
Bradley, what district?
I'm talking. I'll find it.
What district?
So,
What certification? District certification, state? Please.
are you
Yeah.
challenging Mr. Tech?
I'm asking you questions. You're on camera. Please provide answers.
If I answer them, will you answer questions I ask you?
Well, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be there in a second.
Oh, yeah,
So
no,
what-
answer it now.
Don't distract. Let's
Please
stay on
answer
focus.
it now.
Stay on
What
focus.
state, what district, where do you always have this stuff, but you never show it. It's amazing, Mr. Bradley. You're very
Would you like to see my
combative.
certification now?
You're a narcissist, everything going there. Please speak some more.
And you
Did I
take
see
the
my
exam
certification?
contest.
I don't see your state certification. What is it?
It's actually federal, but it's close.
Well, no, what is it? Is it by the state of Pennsylvania?
Mr.
State of New Jersey?
Mr. Sedley, what I'm
Please,
asking.
Mr. Bradley, answer.
What I'm looking
Yes,
to
you're
do.
on camera, so we're doing that, so we can compare.
Thank you. I'll ask questions as well.
Our meeting is over.
No, it's not
You
over.
have anything else?
This is a board meeting.
Thank
It's
you.
a
No, it's
committee
not a board
meeting.
meeting.
So we're looking for root cause. If we can
Meeting's
find out
done.
what the root cause is and really understand it. Why are you shutting down the meeting when we're talking about the accountability of students when you have 10% of the students not being covered?
It's all serious.
Timothy Tack is the assistant to the superintendent in the Lehighton Area School District. Let's see what he says about the sunshine laws.
Press box. Let's not make this political like we do with everything else, sunshine laws and all the other BS. Don't start playing games.
Now let's take a look at some of the things that he writes in his emails. Now you got to look past the spelling, but let's just take a look. And listen to how he acts when someone is speaking at the podium. Says, sorry again for this motion for the plan approval.
Wrong. Mr. Bradley, you had it last week.
I'm speaking, sir.
You had it last month, and I'm telling you, you're
I'm
wrong.
speaking, sir.
No, you're wrong.
No, it's him.
I'm speaking, sir.
It was
On the website.
website for 30 days.
All right, sir, on the website. Please let me finish my 3 minutes, thank you.
Go ahead, Scott.
Had enough. So, this is the new plan. This is the new plan, sir. This is the one that's on the website. And on the website is the old... The citizen had to take a heckling from the assistant to the superintendent. How professional is this? What is he doing? Why? Is transparency really that much of a problem? Well, I guess when we read the email, I would say yes. Some people do not like transparency. Thank you.
No, I didn't.
Mr. Bradley, kids behave the way you did.
I'm sorry.
It's a total disrespect and disgrace. Kids have more respect than you do.
That's funny. Bradley, my name is X. This is available on the Right to Know. And I have been forced to drop out of Lehighton's district due to, and then mentions the person. And then it goes on about sexual assault is being tossed aside and is unfair. Not only to me as a person, but to other students who have been forced to deal with this. I would like to announce that this board should offer the opportunity for any student that feels this way to file a complaint, teach them how the complaint process works. Next, in our board, on the agenda today, you're going to have a comprehensive plan. These stakeholders were not provided this comprehensive plan, and the board was only provided it tonight. It says, sorry again for this motion for the plan approval.
Wrong. Mr. Bradley, you had it last week.
I'm speaking, sir.
You had it last month, and I'm telling you, you're
I'm
wrong.
speaking, sir.
No, you're wrong.
No, it's him.
I'm speaking, sir.
It was
On the website.
website for 30 days.
All right, sir, on the website. Please let me finish my 3 minutes, thank you.
Go ahead, Scott.
Had enough. So, this is the new plan. This is the new plan, sir. This is the one that's on the website. And on the website is the old plan. And the old plan says...
Sunshine laws and all the other BS. Don't start playing games.
This is the new plan. This is the new plan, sir. This is the one that's on the website. And on the website...
Don't start playing games.
This is the new plan. This is the new plan, sir. This is the one that's on the website.